What did Enoch scholar Matthew Black say to Hugh Nibley about the Book of Moses Enoch account? Things that mattered most to Hugh Nibley. Hugh Nibley Observed. BYU professor Hugh Nibley discovered many evidences of the authenticity of the Book of Mormon. But did you know that he also made discoveries relating to the Book of Moses? And that there are non-Latter-day Saint scholars who agree with the significance of his findings? Chapters 6 and 7 of the Book of Moses contain a record of the prophet Enoch. Remarkably, the Book of Moses Enoch text has many resemblances with ancient Enoch manuscripts that were not available to Joseph Smith in 1830. Fortunately, Hugh Nibley was one of the rare scholars who mastered all the languages needed to read these texts in their original form. In 1976 to 77, Hugh Nibley dashed off one long, heavily footnoted article each month for a series about ancient Enoch manuscripts and Moses 6 through 7 that was running in the church's Ensign magazine. Just as he was finishing the last article, he received, just in time, the first English translation of a Dead Sea Scrolls Enoch work called The Book of Giants. Nibley found significant resemblances between the Book of Giants and the Book of Moses. His best-known discovery is that a character with the name of Mahijah in the Book of Moses is a remarkable match for a character with a similar name in the Book of Giants. Nibley found that these characters not only match well in their unusual names, but also in the roles they play. The rest of the story is given in the new book Hugh Nibley Observed. In 1976, Matthew Black, who collaborated on the English translation of the Book of Giants, gave a lecture attended by Latter-day Saint Gordon C. Thomason. Thomason, who knew of Nibley's research on Enoch, approached Black after the lecture. Professor Black found the similarity of the Book of Giants and Book of Moses names to be a very strong evidence that Joseph Smith's Enoch text was ancient, even though he didn't believe that Joseph Smith translated it through revelation. Instead, Black suggested that a religious group in Italy must have preserved the Book of Giants traditions over the centuries and brought it to New York for the prophet to translate and publish. Rather than dispute Black's improbable theory, Thomason suggested that Black visit BYU and meet with Nibley. While at BYU, Black gave a public lecture, but would not answer any questions about the Book of Moses. However, according to Nibley, Black remained convinced that the resemblance to the Book of Giants could not be a coincidence. Since Nibley's passing, many more exciting discoveries about the ancient Enoch texts and the Book of Moses have been made. For example, we now know of ancient texts that confirm the Book of Moses Enoch story, that the righteous were gathered and that some were taken up into heaven with him. In a 1997 letter published in Hugh Nibley Observed, Nibley added new details about Professor Matthew Black's visit to BYU. Nibley wrote, he was greatly impressed by certain parallels between the Qumran Book of Enoch and Joseph Smith's. When I started to ask for explanations, he would switch to other topics. He did say a number of times, shaking his head in a bemused fashion, someday we will find out where Joseph Smith got that. Someday a source will turn up. Which I doubt not for a moment, since we already have an impressive sampling. I'm afraid it will not be what Brother Black was hoping for. Yours truly, Hugh Nibley. Hugh Nibley's deep interest in the restored gospel of Jesus Christ led him to many discoveries of importance to Latter-day Saints. The book Hugh Nibley Observed tells the story of the man and his work. For more information, visit interpreterfoundation.org/books.